All right, animation 1. We're going to show you how to export out of Premiere, bring it into Animate, and then begin rotoscoping. I'm going to make this really, really quick. Okay, so I have my 3 videos in here in Animate. It looks good. I'm telling my story about a surfer who's standing up to begin surfing. 3 different shots. Doesn't matter that it's the same surfer because we're going to rotoscope over him anyway. Cool, it works. Great. Okay, see how that is green? Get out of here. You see how that's green right there? That means that it's rendered, which is what we want. So if it's not green, if it's yellow or red, you just need to go to Sequence and then Render into Out. You know, it's not going to do anything with mine because it's already rendered, but make sure that that's green before export. So what I want you to do is go to File, Export, and then go to Media. If you see Media grayed out and you can't click it, it means that you're not selecting your sequence. See this blue outline? It means that you're selecting another window. So make sure we're selecting Sequence, and then File, Export, Media. Now, so H.264 is exactly the format that we want, so make sure to choose that. Don't choose Blu-ray. We want medium bit rate is perfect. High bit rates, you know, because we're just kind of tracing over these, they're a template. We don't need super high resolution stuff, so medium bit rate will work great for us. So it's only 2 megabytes, and that's a really small file size, and that's perfect. Okay, I'm going to click on here, and we're going to save it. I'm going to call it Surfer. And I'm going to put it in my Rotoscope folder, which you should definitely have on your desktop. Look, rotoscoping, fantastic. I'm going to save it in there, Surfer, export. Okay. So now I've exported out the MP4 from Premiere. Let's see. That should take just a second. Look, it's already done. I'm going to hide that out of the way. Now we're in Animate. So in Animate, I'm going to create a new document. So I'm going to first start, File, Create New. I want it to be full HD 1920 by 1080. Okay? If you don't see this, if you're in a different version at home or something, just make sure that the width is 1920, the height is 1080, and the frames need to be very critical, 24. Okay? Higher frame rate just means that you're going to have to animate more, and I'd like for this to stay 24, so that way you're animating 12 frames a second or every other frame, right? Okay, so I hit Create. So I have my document open. Let's make this fit in window. Perfect. I'm going to name my first layer here video. And let's create a new layer. Okay. So let's make this a little bit bigger here so you can see it. I'm going to click on my video layer inside layer 1. I'm going to click on my first frame and go to File, Import, and then Import Video. Let's go choose, there's a few different ways to bring in video, okay? So load external video with playback component. This means you're actually gonna load the video into Animate. That's not a good idea. Mostly because we don't actually need it to be in the file. I just need it to be a template for me to copy. So I don't actually want it later. I don't want it to export out with this video in it, right? So this last one here is the perfect option. Embed an H.264 MP4 video into the timeline. Design only, the video cannot be exported. That's perfect. I don't want it to be exported. I just want to copy it. So that's perfect. Okay, so I'm going to browse. I'm going to go choose, if I go here, it should have my rotoscoping folder. There's Surfer, MP4. I'm going to open. Okay. Now I'm going to go to Next. Now you have a couple options here. Just go ahead and unclick Include Audio because we don't need audio with it. Next, and Finish. Okay. Give it just 1 second. There we go. There's my video. If it's not the right size, let's say that your video is like really small in here, that's just because you didn't put it to the right size in Premiere, and that's cool. So just all you have to do is just click on it and then just rescale it. Okay. Which I don't need to do because it's already the perfect size. And then on layer 2, we'll call this the Rotoscope. Oh, actually, I should probably name it what it is. It's Rotoscope. I think Rotoscope sounds just funny, right? And so then what we're going to do is just begin animating, right? Like you normally would the walk cycle or anything else, except for you're using this as a template. So if I were to use a brush, I could have go to my brush and choose my brush library over here and go to artistic and maybe ink. And if I wanted to get some like different kind of looks to it, let's say I want to go with a calligraphy look, if you double click on it, it'll select it so that way you can paint in. Oh, I don't think I'm in. Hold on. Wrong brush. There you go. All right. So I can paint with different types of textures. So there's that one. I can choose like a charcoal. And this is not required. This is just extra stuff, okay? So if you want to try a different brush, by all means. But then you'd want to come in here and then, with this one, I'd obviously need a smaller brush. I'm going to put a couple in here. So, nice. Look beautiful. Am I doing a fantastic job? This is a trackpad. I know you're like, gosh, he's a genius. He is a genius. I know, right? Okay, so you'd come in here, do a much more detailed job, okay? And then, like we normally would, you skip 2 frames. So I just start on frame 1, go to 3, and then insert timeline blank keyframe. Okay. Start. Continuing to rotoscope. Skip 2. Now I'm on 5. Insert timeline blank keyframe. Okay. If you want to turn on the onion skinning, just make sure to turn on right there, and you can see what the previous frames look like. Anything that's blue is the past, anything that's green is the future, and then you get a sense of movement. Okay, so that's pretty much. I'll let you experiment, and then we'll talk more next time. Thanks much.